All right, Jay. 3A football. I know you got your notes in front of you. I got my notes in front of me. Let's go ahead and get into it. Kind of what do you see in the first round? Like what matchups stand out to you?
Peach County versus Chris County.
Yeah.
Peach County, one of those middle Georgia programs, a lot of playoff history. Some good young players over there as well. Chris County, a lot of the same. I feel like that's a matchup it's a 1-4 matchup. I feel like that's a matchup that's sneaky. It's an opportunity for a 4 to win a big game because there's some familiarity there, and those guys aren't too far apart.
Now we're gonna dive straight into your semifinal matchup because I know look, man, that's what people want. Give the people what they want, Jay. Semifinal matchup.
Yeah, Cedar Grove is obviously a big powerhouse. They won that classification last year, and got a lot of the same guys back. Got a lot of new young talent playing for them. We're gonna start there. So got them facing Adairsville in their first semifinal, and then on the other side I have Carver and Sandy Creek, both region opponents. They faced each other earlier this year with Sandy Creek coming out on top. So that's my 2 semifinals for 3A.
And the funny thing is, I am looking at that, and we're kind of matching on that one. Sandy Creek versus Carver, Cedar Grove versus Adairsville. And here's what I'm going to say this one. And I know I put him in the semifinals, but I still got my sleeper as Carver. Here's why. I believe there's a guy over there, DeAndre Buchanan, who is probably arguably the most underrated skill player in the state. I've had a chance to watch him in person, and that young man can absolutely take over a game, man. Like, he's a guy that when he gets the ball, the energy changes in the whole stadium, man. I mean, he is like that, man. He is electric, and I love the attitude he plays with, man. He's going to give it to you for 4 quarters. And if you're not ready to play on his level 4 quarters, he's going to make some plays on you, man. What player in your eyes kind of can stand out and make a real impact for these playoffs?
Talk about Cedar Grove. Cedar Grove has been so talented for the last few years. I'm going to go with their quarterback, E.J. Colson. He's a guy that's had a great year. He's continuously getting better. He's a leader for that program. I think if he has a big playoffs, they're on their way because, he's an electric player. He can run the ball. He can throw it deep. So, if he has a bunch of good performances, it's going to be really hard to deal with them just with what they do on the defensive side of the ball.
All right, championship time, man. Who you got and why? Who are the 2 teams playing in the playoffs, and who you got? Who's winning?
The 2 teams I have, I'm going to go with. You almost convinced me with your point about DeAndre Buchanan over at Carver. He's a great football player. He's one of those guys that you get in these one winner go home situations, and one player can't win a football game. He's a player that can take over a game and maybe make some impact. But I'm gonna go with Sandy Creek. Going to the state championship to face off with Cedar Grove in that matchup. That's gonna be a big one. I mean, a lot of these guys know each other, so I think that Carver and Sandy Creek is gonna be a big matchup. Should that turn out how it is gonna be, they've played once, so it's hard to beat a team twice. So there's a lot of variables going on with that one.
You know what, man? I think I'm kind of leaning right there with you, man. That Sandy Creek Cedar Grove matchup. I think that's what's on the horizon. And they played each other earlier in the season, which we actually did the game for with NBC 11 Live. And Latimer, the quarterback, was outstanding. He was outstanding. Look, it's just Cedar Grove was a better team that night. They jumped up. Sandy Creek jumped up 12-0. Cedar Grove finally woke up, fought back, took the lead, and E.J. Colson accounted for 7 touchdowns that night. Like, buddy came to play. So when I look at it, both teams are going to make their adjustments. So either it's going to be a game with a big wide margin, or it's going to be a classic. I know both of these coaches are going to have their guys prepared to play, man. Who you got winning the championship? I'm curious. I don't think you said it. Who you got winning the championship?
I'm gonna say Cedar Grove is going to bring home the championship for the 2nd year in a row. That juggernaut over there, they've got some things going, and as long as they don't turn the football over and stay relatively healthy, they'll be difficult to deal with for sure.